So, hi everyone. I'm Alicia Albright. Now that you can hear me, I'm going to start over again. Um, Yay. Okay. Hi. Welcome officially to the first of many of the Voices from Broadway series from the Broadway Teachers Workshop. I'm incredibly honored to be one of the guiding lights of this journey, to be the first one. I worked with the Broadway Teachers Workshop and the Broadway Student Summit, and every time I've done it, I just feel so moved and inspired by the people that I get to work with. And I'm so honored that this company allows me to teach in new ways and to guide in new ways. So thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. What I wanted to talk about in class today, just wanted to double check, can everyone still hear me? Hello from Mexico. Hi. Okay, everyone can still hear me. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about today is I wanted us to co-create this together. So we can share. Sometimes I'll be really checking in with the comments and sometimes not as much. But I want us to create this together so we can feel really connected, even though we might be so separate and so far away. And it's what I wanted to speak about is how do we stay positive in this time that is so full of fear and anxiety and uncertainty. What are some ideas and tools that we can share? I'm going to share some of things that have helped me, and I would love to hear what has been helping you all through this time. Because I also wanted us to create a community that uplifts and inspires one another, no matter what is happening in the world around us. In yoga, we call that the upward shift. So what can we do as teachers, as performers, as creators, as family members and friends, but most importantly, as human beings? What can we do to bring about that upward shift? Maya Angelou has a beautiful quote, and the quote is, "Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay." As you can see it on the bottom of the screen, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. I think that is so incredibly beautiful. And it is my goal that at the end of this workshop, we have all invited hope to stay, as well as connection, inspiration, innovation, and love. And that we know that the true self, that light that always shines within us, no matter what is happening, that we know that it's never left us and that it's always there to guide the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of breath work and meditation and some movement, and then we'll do some sharing and connecting. So can everyone still hear me? Oh, get outside, be in nature, focus on learning something new. So I'll already share some things that people have said: walking outside, staying productive, staying off the 24-hour news cycle. Exactly. So that moves to my first thing I wanted to do. So, and throughout this workshop, like we said, you can type in and stuff like that. So the first step we're going to do is I like to call this coming back to yourself. So the biggest thing that's been helping me through this, all of this, is like some people just shared, to turn off my phone. Obviously, don't turn off your computer right now because then you won't see me. But to turn off the TV, turn off the phone, and take a moment to breathe. Because I know for me, if I watch it too much or I think about it too much, I can get really scared and feel anxious and start to lose hope that this will end someday. So I found that then I go, oh, what do I really need to do? I need to turn it all off, and I need to do something for myself. So together, I would like us to breathe. So take one hand, put it on your heart, and one on your belly. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Yeah. And I just want you to breathe. So breathing in, inhale, and exhale. Really just coming into this moment right now. You can keep your eyes open or closed or slightly lower on in front of you, but just wherever you are, if you're standing or sitting, just find a comfortable seat and connect to your body. Feel the clothes beneath your hands. Feel your hands on your chest and your belly, and just inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So now we're going to inhale for 4 and out for 4. If that ever feels uncomfortable, you can just go back to a normal breathing pattern. Okay? So let's try it together. Inhale, normal. And exhale. Let's inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now take your hands and let them release by your sides. I want us to connect our movement to our breath. So I want you to inhale, reach your arms out and up. Inhale. And exhale. Again. Inhale. Exhale. This time open your eyes and really see what's in front of you. See the screen, see me, see up, look to the sky. Inhale, breathe up, and exhale. Good, bring it to your shoulders. Inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. And take your hands and bring them to your chest. I wore this shirt on purpose. So something I talk about in all my classes is this beautiful light that shines within all of us. I like to call it your heart light. I used to work for a company where I taught yoga for children called Yogi Beans. They'd given us this idea that you take your peace fingers, everyone try it with me, put them together. And sometimes this light goes dormant and we forget that it's there. So we go tap, 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 tap. And for little kids, it helps them sit up tall in yoga class. But for us, it can be a reminder, even now, the truest, most beautiful part of us that's full of love and hope never goes away. Never. It's always there. And sometimes we just need to move other things, but lightly let them gently fade away so we can remember who we are inside. That beautiful part of us. In Hawaii, where I am now, when you come here, the first thing people say to you is aloha. Say it with me. Aloha. And it's a word that has many meanings, but a really beautiful one. I got to interview my boyfriend and I got to interview a person who teaches the wisdom of the elders. And she had told us how aloha means love. It's the vibration of love. And to really, if you think about that, to greet the world by the first thing you're saying is love, is that's what's in that space. So for us right now, we're creating a sacred space of love together, which I think is really beautiful. So the next thing we're going to do, just wanted to another check-in. Can everyone still hear me? Great. Can someone say yes or no? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put on some music lightly in the background. I'm going to turn it down. So we're going to do a meditation. And meditation and breath work is something that's been really, really helping me. And it always has. It's something I practice a lot. And especially in this time right now, I found it to be incredibly helpful. One of my favorite ones to utilize is Oprah and Deepak's meditation. So you can go and just Google Oprah and Deepak meditations, and they do these 21-day free meditations. And one just started yesterday, and it's about hope. I think it's so beautiful. And they have a past one that was about perfect health. And so this meditation we're going to do is inspired by those. And so I'd like you to go on this journey with me. So again, you've already found your comfortable seat or standing or whatever that is. And so here's the link. Thank you for showing that. So I'd like to say the importance of the words I am. Because whatever follows those words happens. Your words create your reality. If you are thinking, I am scared, I am anxious, I am not well, I am any of those things, that just shows up more. And there's also different studies of the power of positive thinking. There's studies with water that a scientist has spoken negative words into a glass of water and then positive words into another one. And what happened to both of those, literally. So it's very possible. And it's very important that we know the power of our words. Our words create our world. So I want us, and how often do we pick apart our bodies? It could be now because you might be feeling sick. You might be someone listening who is sick. And I want you all to know we're all going to be okay. And it could be also that you don't like something about yourself or your body, or we pick on our bodies. If you're a dancer, like I pick on myself when I don't dance the way sometimes. But what if we could infuse the body with love, infuse it with caring? So some of the things I want us to think about are these words: I am whole, I am beautiful, I am perfect, just as I am. So when we start to think more positive things, it has feedback loops in our body that goes even down to our cells. And so if we're creating a positive feedback loop, even if we're feeling sick, we can be bringing positivity and health and love into our bodies from the inside out. And it's the power of how we speak. So relax into your comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes open or close them just a little. Connect to your breath. Notice any tension on your exhale. You can just let it release. What you can imagine is these feelings that we might have against ourselves, whether it can be looks, or if there's something you're going through, or a disease you might have, or something that you might have going on that we tend to feel so angry about. What if you had a friend that was sad? Would you treat them with those type of ways you're treating yourself? Or would you want to nurture them and help them to feel better and assist them in their process to feel loved? Now, can you give that to yourself and to all the parts of who you are? So we're going to start. I want you to close your eyes and then think of that light, that as a beautiful light that shines inside of ourselves. And I want you to think with me: I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. And I want us to start at our feet. And I want you to think of this beautiful white healing light like waves lapping against the shore. That each time it comes across your feet, you're bringing it gratitude for all the things our feet do for us. Walking, dancing. And then that beautiful light that's full of love and health moves up the ankles, up the calves and the shins, up to your knees. I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. Up the thighs and the quads, the hamstrings, all the way to the bones. Giving gratitude for our legs and all the thing our legs do for us, to our hips, our bottoms, and all the way into our bellies, and all the organs, the stomach, the pancreas, the liver, the bones of the rib cage, the muscles, the lungs, your heart, all these beautiful things inside of us, letting this white light wash up the body. I am healthy. I am perfect. I am strong. I feel gratitude for all the systems of my body, my blood systems, my cells, to your hands that greet the world, your arms, your shoulders, your neck, your face, that this beautiful white light just washes up, full of gratitude, thankfulness. I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. My body is perfection. My body is healthy. My body is strong. And now I want you to start to think the words so hum. So hum. In Sanskrit, that means I am. And you're going to know you can think so. Exhale, hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. You can feel that vibration of love through all of your body, all the muscles, all the bones, all the blood to the cells, I am perfection. I am healthy. I am strong. So repeat it in your head for 1 minute, and I'll bring us back. So just connecting to your breath. In your head, you can think so hum. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just lightly, gently, lovingly bring it back to the mantra. So hum. So hum. So hum. It is time to release the mantra. Just take a big breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Breathing in and exhale. Slowly float your eyelids open. You can begin to rub your hands together, creating some heat. Bringing ourselves back into our bodies in a physical way. And maybe a little bit faster. And a little bit faster. And then you can bring that heat and that warmth over your eyes. Big breath in. Exhale, release. This last chance, any part of your body that might be resisting it or feeling at ease, not at ease, send extra love and gratitude. Breathing in and breathing out. I think one thing I noticed yesterday is that there's nothing we can take for granted anymore in this time. And I actually think that's a beautiful thing, because then you're just full of gratitude. If you can change the coin that way, we can take a perspective that can seem hopeless, can seem bleak, and we change it to the other side. And suddenly it's full of possibility, it's full of gratitude, it's full of the unknown being exciting or possible instead of the unknown being terrible. And so meditation is a way, breathwork is a way that can connect us to that space that opens up love, opens up possibility that was always there. And we just forgot. It's like a remembering practice to come back inside. So thank you for practicing that meditation with me. There are many different ones that are offered with Oprah and Deepak. There are many apps as well that you can use that are, there's one called La Luz that is geared towards performers, and I'm a teacher on that. There's many different ones. Here's some: Headspace, Insight Timer, Calm, Delta Beat. 10% Happier is one I want to try. There's also one if you have children. I looked up some meditation apps geared towards children that are kid-friendly, and you can see them on the screen right now as well. Zen Studio Meditation. There's one that has mindfulness coloring with peaceful music. So those are things, if you have children and you are working from home and they're homeschooling, that you can maybe have another thing that you can bring meditation into their lives. Because the more we feel it first and give to ourselves first, then that ripple effect affects our family around us at any age, whether it's, for me, it's my parents. If I'm connected, I can positively impact my family or the children you might have or the relatives, or even through the phone call. Yourself, your beauty, your love can positively impact others. So beautiful. So the next thing I wanted to do is, oh great, my cousin. So another thing that I wanted to share is moving the body. So there's a lot of really beautiful things right now. People who are sharing workouts online for free through Zoom, through all kinds of different stuff, or through a donation. And I know for me, if I'm inside too long, I go nutty. So I wanted us to move our bodies together. Yay! So how we're going to do that is we're going to do 2 different songs. So you can feel free with your families to dance it out with me. This one I do in all my classes to show you don't have to be a dancer. The idea is to get the blood pumping. So we've got our breath working. We've sent all this love to our body. So now let's use our bodies and let's move them in space. And then that blood flowing is also going to go to our brain, and it's going to help our brain even feel even better. Yeah? So, woohoo! I am going to go like this. Can you all see me? Okay. So I'm going to find my song. So you can stay seated if you want. Yay! Do I have kids? I don't. Maybe someday. So we're going to stand up, and you can, if you want to just use your arms and sit, that's fine too. If you want to stand up with your friends, the idea is a lot of us might be alone, so nobody's watching. I can't even see you guys, but I can kind of. And or your friends and family can do it together. So let me find my song. So in the beginning, you might know this song. So it's just going to go. And again, this is for us to just get the body moving. It doesn't matter what we look like. It's just going to feel good. And we can allow ourselves to be a little bit silly. Can everyone still hear me if I'm over here? Let me see. Can you guys still hear me if I'm over here? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, cool beans. So, yes. Yay. Okay, so in the beginning, you're just going to circle and snap, and you can add any kind of spice. So I work with a company that we also talk about when we dance and we move. The special thing you can give yourself besides your heart light is some spiciness. So I'll have kids talk about bringing spiciness. So you're going to go up and then back down, then other side, adding all your own spice. I'll add mine. Then we step and touch and step and touch and step and touch and step. Then we're going to go to the side. Let me get you to see my legs. We're going to 1 and 2 and 3. Ooh! Okay, we are playing games. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Then we'll do that side to side. Then we're going to inhale, arms up, and exhale down and up a couple times. Then when the chorus comes in, we're going to do 4 jumping jacks. Look out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have 4 counts to do whatever you want and get silly. No, but none of us can see each other. So now's the time. And then we do 4 jumping jacks again, and then we get silly. Yeah? Then we're going to go slide, step, snap, up and down and up. Other side. We go slide, we step and snap. We go up and down. We go up and down. Yeah? So do that a couple times, and then we'll just kind of rotate our head around, do our shoulders, so that we can just get the blood flowing. It's going to feel so yummy. I say cool beans. Oh, me too. Okay, let's have our dance party. Hip hop dance party. Okay, Linda, hip hop dance party. Okay, are we ready to begin? Let me put my song on, and let's just do some check-ins when I play this song that you guys can still hear me. Can you hear the song? Can I get a yes or a no? You can hear the song. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me as I talk? Turn down a little bit. Okay. Great. So let me start my song over. Okay, great. Inhale. Dance party. Here we go to the side. And down. Other side. Off from my home. We're flying and up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally. More like the way we rock it, so don't stop. Inhale, big breath in, use the whole body. And down. Even bigger this time. You can do it. And down. 2 more. Feel that love and light and gratitude and really all the way to your fingertips. 4 jumping jacks. Get weird. Forward W dance. Let's go. We go. Slide. Up and down and up and down and slide. And up and down. And move your head to the right. I mean the left. Again. Other side. Think of bringing gratitude. I'm so glad I can move my neck. Shoulders go up and back. Up and faster. We go to the front. Slow and slow. Faster. Big breath in. Bend your knees. Lift all the way up and down. Go lower. Up. Reach through your body. I love my body. I'm so glad it can work. Even if you're sitting down or laying down, you can still move your fingers. Here we go. Dance party. Here we go. Dance party. Go slide. Up and down and up and down and down. And up and down and again. Show me your spice. Here we go. Let's do just the left shoulder. Faster. Other side. Really move. Really move. Faster. Here we go. Last time. Dance party. Again. Last time. Again. Last time. Let's go. Swivel, snap. Other side. Thank you. I know I always feel like, now I can breathe. I feel better. So we've sent love. So we've done this on purpose. We started with our breath. Then we went inside our hearts. We sent love to our whole bodies. And now we moved our bodies. And so again, even if you didn't do the movement, you still were with us. And so that we can send love. I know my heart's beating a little bit faster. And that makes me feel like it's going through my brain. It's getting all over my body. So that's a big thing that's very helpful, is moving the body. And I miss dancing, so I haven't danced for a little bit. So thank you for dancing with me. Dancing's my favorite. So the next thing we're going to do is my very favorite thing to do. Let me check it. Fun. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. You guys, I can't stop the feeling you did. These comments are really nice. So thank you for your comments. So the next thing we're going to do is my favorite. If you've taken my class, we've done it. So it's a beautiful song. Oh, you can totally do it. And anything I'm sharing, please offer to your students. I share to be shared. Yeah. So any of these things you can offer to anyone. So they're meant to be shared. Yeah. And I'm honored because all these things I'm sharing are things that have helped me. So if it helps you, I'm so grateful. My favorite thing is, so this is a particular song that is very inspirational and important, especially now. And I won't talk too much about it. I'm just gonna ask you to follow along again. And this is a little bit of American Sign Language and a little bit of me. So it's not completely correct, but it is very. And so it is a way to express ourselves through speaking through our bodies. And connecting to a song that's really beautiful. So the song is Rise Up, with Andra Day singing it. And we'll talk about it a little more after. I'm not going to speak, so I like to go into expressing through nonverbal. So let me turn the music on. And just follow along with me and let whatever feelings come over you, let them, we're in a safe, sacred space together. So know that however you feel as we do this is perfect.
You're broken down and tired.
Is this level okay?
You're living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter.
Not
But I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out.
I'm gonna start it over one more time. Okay. So let's all breathe. Okay. Here we go.
You're broken
Catch
down
your breath
and
again.
tired. You're living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter. But I see it in
Make sure you do this
so
along
we
with
gon'
me.
walk it out. Ooh, mountains, we gon' walk it out. And ooh, mountains, and I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Ooh, mountains, bring it to its feet. Ooh, mountains, and I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Thank you. for doing that with me. So this one I think is really important. Thanks, Cousin Galen. So I think that one is really inspiring, especially what we're going through right now. Now you can feel so hopeless. And the biggest thing, I think the song is really important, that we can rise up. Even now, we can, together, in yoga, this is also unshakable faith and trust, and it's together in sign language, and we can have hope. We will get through this, and we can do that by being together. We can do that by giving back to ourselves. I got the chance to learn this. Please share this with people who are social distancing, because it can feel so hopeless and alone, and we're not alone. We're all going through this. We feel like we're so alone, but we're not. We're all going through this together. But it really takes the dedication to the practice to give back to yourself and to not just let worry and light take you away. How can we root ourselves into ourselves so that we can live in that space of love and hope and possibility together, not alone? None of us are alone. We're all through this together. And how can we be innovative? How can we find new ways to connect? How can we find new ways to create art? How can we find new ways to share? And how can we, but first, put our oxygen masks on first? And how can we first give back to ourselves? Another thing that always helps me is the wisdom of others. I love quotes, so I wanted to share a couple with you before we kind of open up to create together. So a one from Oprah it says, the more you focus on words that uplift you, the more you embody the ideas contained in those words. So you can see it on your screen. The more you focus on words that uplift you, the more you embody the ideas contained in those words. So that's reading, that's thinking, that we uplift, we raise our vibration to thinking things positively. And it's not about ignoring what's happening. It's not about not allowing ourselves to be sad or scared, but it's how can we feel those and then still know it's okay. What can I do for myself right now? What can I do for the world? Another one is we become what we think about all day long. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We become what we think about all day long. So if you're thinking about fear, or even in times not like now, if you're thinking you're not good enough, or you're thinking those things, that's the world is going to show up that way to you, because it's the same thing of like your word creates your reality, or your word creates your world. What we become what we think about all day long. So how can we do the upward shift to think of those things of like, I am whole, I am healthy, I'm going to get better. The world is going to get better. We will get through this. We will help those who have lost friends. We will be there for one another. We can do this. Another one is everything you and I experience, be it a valley or a victory, a crisis or a Kilimanjaro moment, contains a seed of grace. That's from Oprah again, a lesson for the journey ahead. So everything you and I experience, be it something terrible, something amazing, a crisis, the best thing in your life, every single thing that happens to us contains this beautiful seed of grace that has a lesson for the next step, the next right step ahead. Every hardship is an opportunity to grow and learn. So even this is an epic opportunity to grow and learn. How can you treat yourself as sacred? How can you make your home a sacred space that you're in, that then can be a place, and your family is sacred, your friends are sacred? How can we come together through this and find a way out and find a way up, no matter how long this lasts? How can we create new things? And again, because we can't take anything for granted, so how can we find gratitude in the little things, the cup of coffee? Because we can't control what's happening around us in the world. There's no way to control what's happening, but we can control our reactions to what's happening. And we can control how we feel, and we can control Can I share a message for our kids whose shows have been canceled? Yes. So now, yes, let's move into where we can connect and share. So, there's one other thing I wanted to say before I do that. That's about hope. And this is from Deepak. It says, hope is real, and invite the hope vibration of hope to stay. Just like that one we heard from Maya Angelou, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. So he talks about that as well. Hope is real. It's not enough to just hope for the best. We need hope to deal with the uncertainty of life. We need love. We need love to deal with the uncertainty of life. You can fear uncertainty and try to control it all, but then it just puts us more in this feeling of anxiety and unlimited fulfillment. But if we can embrace uncertainty, if we can learn to embrace it, and then for its creative potential and its ability to make life different every day, that there's some wisdom in there. And again, it's all back to that like mindset, shifting the perspective. Then life becomes expanding. It's more fulfilled. There's more of a sense, there's more health, there's more opportunity. And a beautiful thing he said is, hope becomes different. Instead of just wish fulfillment, it is an intention that the universe carries out. The power of hope comes from your self-awareness. And when hope is known and felt from your inner being, your true self, it transforms your life. And that's all from Deepak. And I heard it and was like, ugh. So I think for all of us, so now we can open up some questions. I think that, my show is closed right now too. I hope it comes back. I really do. But I don't know if it will. We don't know. And a lot of kids' shows have been canceled. A lot of friends of mine in professional shows were about to open on Broadway and they got canceled. And we don't know what's going to happen. And it's very sad. But we don't know. The truth is we don't know what the future may bring. They can come back. And when we do get through this, is going to be a burst of stuff. But in the meantime, what can we do? I've seen a friend that through Zoom, they read their whole play. And everybody dressed up as different characters. And they all connected together. So they were all on the screen together. And they read through a play. Or you guys, you could do oh my gosh, I would love to see that. If you guys could do a performance that then people could come and watch on a social media platform, I'm putting it out there for you to help me figure this out, that we can see all the characters in costumes doing they had a Zoom rehearsal, Joseph Granzo, that's amazing. So that's amazing. And so you can do rehearsals that way. You could do performances. And then you can have a tech team that is helping you, just like Mary's helping me. To maybe the character that has the lines is the one in the screen. And how can we still do plays and musicals that way? How can we, it's a beautiful opportunity to be innovative. We can create now things that haven't existed before. It's beautiful that people who are older are learning how to use technology. There's lots of things I've been wanting to create that I haven't had the time. And so now I have the time and the space to and so much creativity that's bursting out of me that I am like, okay, I'm going to go create something today and then share it. And then let's see what else. My siblings are doing Zoom rehearsals. Some people did before closing. Where did you say I used to teach yoga to kids? I've always wanted to do that someday. So there's a lot of companies. The company I used to work for was called Yogi Beans, and they're doing some podcasts too. There's also yoga you can watch. There's for kids that can be helpful if you're homeschooling, that you do meditation or yoga with kids to teach them mindfulness practices now. But the only way they're really going to learn it is if we practice it, because everyone around us feels our energy. And our children, if they feel our energy of fear and anxiety, they feel it. But if we can find ways to tap into ourselves first, like say if they're having a breakdown, how can we, instead of matching their level of a meltdown, how can we take a beat and a breath and do something for yourself that if it's an essential oil, if it's a meditation, even if it's taking 5, this is one that I've done with kids. We say before we react, because right now we've also I'll admit there's been some breakdowns. My mom and I got in an argument the other night, but through that we worked through it and we're so much closer because we're together more often and we're getting to really get closer, which makes me so grateful. But there's one called Taking 5. So this is great for kids because they can physicalize it. Before you say something, when you're angry, you take 5 deep breaths and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you feel calmer, then you speak. So again, this is something that you work with kids of any age to help deal with their feelings. A dear friend of mine, Meredith, they have a color chart that the kid can talk about. Her son talks about how his feelings are in the color. And then they'll do acting exercises together, acting out what red is in a gibberish language, or what green is, if green is happy. So there's all these different ways we can be creative. And then the thing is also then to share that and inspire one another. So I'd love to ask, this is one of the things I wanted to share. There's a game you can all play called Rose and Thorn. So the thorn is the hardship or the frustrating thing that is happening. And the rose is how can you turn that into a lesson that, how can we turn that into a lesson that becomes a rose? So it's not ignoring something hard, it's learning from it. So example, I'll share mine. And if you guys would like to share some of this with me right now, I'm going to put my live comments on. Someone, Ali O'Brien, is a special ed teacher and likes it. It's really wonderful. And it'd be something you share as a family. And I did this, my family was here, and I shared it with them, with the kids. So for me, the thorn is coronavirus. It's a big thorn. I was already in Hawaii on vacation and just decided to stay. And I have gotten so much time with my family that I would never, ever, ever have gotten. That's a beautiful rose. So I'm very grateful for that. So there's ways that it's all in that same line of everything we've been talking about. How do we change our mindset and our perspective? So it's a great game. It can even be like, well, my brother picked on me, so if, or like I can say with my mom and I got in an argument, but through it, we communicated and we heard each other. And then it ended up with feelings of love and connection. What a big rose to have from a thorn, and that we had the time to do that. So yeah, I am not from Hawaii. Someone asked if I was from Hawaii. My parents live here. I'm from California originally. Another person, Pamela, says, I use rose and thorn as a gratitude exercise. Thorn is something that is not what you necessarily want. It's poking you. And I had a bud, something you were looking forward to. Beautiful. Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, so there's all these different ways that we can share this with our students, with our friends, with our families, and even with like my friends. Sometimes, we can, on a phone call now, some of my friends, I think we all will tend to just talk about what's happening. And I've started to be like, well, what's something good that's happened to you today? Or what's something that was nice? So that we're still kind of, again, it's all that upward shift. Different things that have always helped me is like everything I've shared, sharing the positive, getting out in nature, looking at nature, finding things that are uplifting. And nature for me is something that I'm like, it has survived so many things. It's proof that we can survive. My dear friend Melissa says they share rose and thorn. We share rose and thorn to share about our day at dinner. So every day, hello. That they share that every day. That's really special. And so now I'd love to ask, so what are some things that have helped you guys? So you guys can see in the comments that through this, what is something you would like to share? As Ali O'Brien shared her thorn, all the anxiety I've been feeling the past few weeks. Rose, got to Zoom with my third graders and read Charlotte's Web together. I love Charlotte's Web. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Gosh, I think it's beautiful. Would anyone else like to share? Thank you all. This is lovely. I think it's great, to connect. And I feel different. I feel in the upward shift, just getting to share my heart and things that I'm very passionate about with you guys. I'm so incredibly passionate. And not just now, I'm passionate about this stuff always. It's helped me in my career. It's helped me in my friendships. It's helped me in my life. To share that positive. And another thing I always talk about, counting your blessings. Yes. Walking, Cynthia says, singing to Broadway tunes, watching escapist movies, virtual connecting with teens I work with. Thank you. Ellie says, it's been wonderful to hear from my teachers, even when we are out of school, because it reminds me that we are all in this together. Yeah. Music and dance, Summer has said. Thank you for sharing. It's Making the most of time we usually don't have to do something. That's a gift to ourselves and others. Yes. Think of all the projects you don't get to do, and now we can do them. Thank you. That's wonderful. I sing Candle in the Water and posted the video to help. Oh, that's wonderful. I will say, I think it's really beautiful. I've seen so many posts when I do allow myself to go online of people saying, I never do this. I feel very vulnerable, but I'm going to do this. And wow, that's incredible. So look at this other thing. It's pushing people beyond their usual limits to share in ways that they never have. And that can help them feel more empowered. So look at these sneaky ways of bringing empowerment. I'm from Kylie. I'm from Guatemala, and sometimes they think musical theater is just a hobby. But how do we explain to them it's an inspiration, the reason I'm alive, just not existing? I think how you share, all you can do to prove it is just live it. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It is your love and your passion. And when you share that authentically with the world, they feel that vibration. I say, don't hold back. I know sometimes I'll hold back what I think is really important if I think someone's not into it. I won't always share all this. And that's on me to allow my whole heart out and not judge it and not wonder if other people do, and just be like, this is me. This is what I love. I wish I was a mermaid. I love the ocean so much. I wish I was a mermaid. Now I just say it loud and proud. I used to hide it. But I think when you live your truth, then people are affected by it, and then how they feel about it is up to them. But it's for you to take away the walls. Who cares what anyone else thinks? It's your passion. It's your love. That's beautiful. Share that with the world authentically from your heart. Another person said, doing art and watching movies, decluttering to make space for positive energy. I want to come into my life. I need to do that. Thank you for sharing that with me. How do I get a rose from the thorn of not being able to travel to Philadelphia to sing in my brother-in-law's mom's funeral? Catherine, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think that what we could do is, could you be there virtually? Could you sing virtually? Could they bring a speaker so that you could see it and that your energy could be there and your voice could still be heard? Even though your physical presence is not there, your energetic presence could be there and your voice could be there through technology. If they're willing, even on FaceTime, you could sing that way and you could still be a part of it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. Christopher said, my actors got to experience Rise Up this year. My choreographer spent a lot of time practicing your movement to teach to our cast. No dry eyes. It was beautiful. Thank you. It came from, I work for Transcendence Theater Company in California. If I said this already, sorry, I have so many thoughts in my head. And a couple years ago, for those of you who are watching from California, there was a lot of fires that were incredibly scary. And a lot of people lost a lot of things. And we put on a show, and the woman who was the American Sign Language interpreter on the news, like we see now often, came in and she signed what two of our beautiful singers sang. And she had never had hearing. So there was someone on the edge of the stage that could sign her the timing. And she started to sing one day and it matched their tone. It was just a miracle. And I was able to do it one day when she couldn't make it to the matinee. And it's changed my life. That and the power of communicating, the power of expressing ourselves authentically from our hearts in a song that really speaks to that. It always brings me to tears. There's another quote that says, if you laugh, cry, and learn in a day, it's been a very good day. Send a video attending virtually. Rise Up was a magical experience. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Catherine, for asking if that can be done. I think that would be really wonderful. And thank you for sharing. During this, Carl says, during this hard time, I just think of theater because it's my happy place. And it makes me so happy to do. And my real name is Tegan, and I'm 11. Hi, Tegan. It's my happy place too. It is. I miss doing Frozen so much. I miss my friends. So I understand. But again, what can we do? How can we connect in Zoom and read a play or read something so it can, your happy place can still exist? It never goes away. It never goes away. Just like that light inside never goes away. You know, how can we be creative? and find new ways to share our joy so that our joy does not go away. Don't let something outside of yourself take away your joy. Don't let this thing happening outside of ourselves take away our lives and our joy. Don't let fear take away your joy. Let it inspire creativity. Let it inspire innovation. Let it inspire freedom, even if you're inside. Putting things into perspective. What seems so important before doesn't now. My priorities have definitely changed. Exactly. Me too. Things that seemed so important. Now it's like we have a beautiful opportunity. It's actually a beautiful opportunity to go inside and be like, what really matters to me? And what can I then, how can I share that with the world? How can I always connect on the inside and then share that authentic place and not share a fake place? Not, social media in the past has been very like, but what if we shared honestly? What if we opened our hearts? And what if we loved ourselves as we did it? What if we did that? Someone said, Amanda says, I had a really hard time taking Broadway being shut down. It's my safe place where I can go to escape. In the first week, I was struggling to find peace with the fact that it is no longer there. I feel you. Me too. The other thing is, it's a safe space. Oh, young Elsa and Frozen. It's a safe space that, again, it doesn't go away. Think of all the shows. Think of all the shows. We're going to wrap up in a second, but think of all the shows that are online that you can see or go and rent. So there's ways to keep this safe space open. So I'm going to end with that. We've gone for a long time. And thank you for being patient in the beginning for us to find the service in my parents' house. Thank you so much for sharing with me. And I implore you to, there's another beautiful quote I want to say. When you light a lantern for someone else, your path too shall be brightened. That is beautiful. When you light a lantern for someone else, your path too shall be brightened. Thank you. I think it's a perfect place to end. Because in this whole thing, what we've gone through is we've given back to ourselves. We've given love to ourselves. We've taken time to be real, to be honest, to not let fear come over. And then we moved that through our whole bodies. We've loved ourselves. We've believed we are healthy. We've believed we can get through this. And now the journey is exactly that. When you light a lantern for someone else, your path too shall be brightened. So how can we be lights? So I implore you all to go out there. Know your safe space is not gone. Know your happy place is not gone. It's always inside of you. It makes you happy because the love you feel inside. And that never goes away. So know it's all in you. And then how can you remember all of these tools can help us remember your happy place is always there. The safe place is always there. And how can we share that with the world? Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I'm sending so much love and health to all of you. And yes, thank you. Please tune in. I think this is going to be recorded for to see at another time. I'm going to go to my private chat to make sure. I'll let you know when the broadcast is. And and be a light that shares your light with the world. And be that lantern to each other, to yourselves. And know that we can be okay. We can get through this together. We can all rise up with hope. We can all have hope. We can have love. We can be the vibration of love. And we can know that it always comes first from inside. Broadway lives in you. It's just as like the song from Lion King, he lives in you. Hope lives in you. Love lives in you. Possibility, innovation, everything lives inside of you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in every Tuesday for more from the Broadway Teachers Workshop. And stay in contact with me. You can follow me on social media on Alicia Albright on Instagram. And let's share hope. Let's share love. Let's share the aloha spirit. And I love you all so much. And I just wanted to thank you. I have much gratitude for all of you. Thank you.